I just named probably the most famous one on the hot.
He's the famous one. My dad hasn't cut his hair in a while, and it's really like curly, and he's sort of balding, so he definitely has Trey Young's hair right now.
I have a friend with Trey Young's hair too. Do you think? Do you think Trey Young's half Jewish or full Jewish? Who knows?
Why do you ask?
You know, the like kind of frizzy hair like that. You know.
Um, I'm not Jewish.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we're not talking about your hair.
Pretty sure. You're talking about my dad's hair.
I know. I was being facetious, but
Freaking out because I can't.
Maybe thought I was
Tomorrow's show is not uploading.
oh, what are you gonna?
What am I gonna do?
Marsha?
No, the next that I already recorded.
Yeah, you don't know about Marsha?
Marsha's coming?
Tomorrow's show.
You're having a show tomorrow?
The one that. So, the episode that comes out tomorrow. This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
Who someone else's?
Through someone else's.
Someone else one and someone else two.
You'll never know
Yeah.
who.
Well, this is it.
Everyone's gonna know it's you. You have the most recognizable voice.
Are you saying me?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Why do I have
I-
the most recognizable voice? Of all the voices that ever existed, mine is the most recognizable. I would be stunned.
Except a couple of exceptions.
Okay,
That's how I accept
Um,
this.
Aquafina.
let's hear him.
She
Okay.
has a pretty recognizable voice. And the guy who plays Truman Capote and Capote, I think his name is Seymour Hoffman? Philip
Oh,
Seymour.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah.
Hoffman.
Okay, good call.
And
Oh, wait, I have one.
who?
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And honestly, Steve Buscemi too.
Yeah.
And the guy who does the voices of Homer Simpson and a bunch of other people on The Simpsons. I
Oh,
forget
yeah.
his name.
Well, is that fair though? Because okay, I was thinking like Fred Armisen has a lot of voices, and you might recognize one of those voices being his. But does that
No.
count? Because he's got
It's
so
his
many.
It's his real voice. I've seen him speak, not on that show, and I recognized him from some random character that must have been his real voice. It's so recognizable.
Okay. So
It's
recognizable,
like-
you don't know
it's
who
like
it is.
this. It's like I have your middle and your ring finger are switched for the first time in the world.
Oh shit! I actually know exactly who you're talking about. Holy shit! Yeah. Wow. All right.
What about like a
I was
Norm
not
Macdonald?
convinced, and now I am. Wait, what'd you say?
Norm Macdonald.
Okay. Yeah.
Nora? Who does she do?
No,
Norm.
Norm.
Mary cannot hear me today.
It's me. I have bad Wi-Fi right now. I don't know why.
That's good.
The power has been surging due to wind, I think. Norm McDonald?
Oh yeah, it's storming here.
Not to be
today.
confused with old McDonald, who had
Yeah, that's
Confused with Ronald. McDonald, Ronald. M.
Why was Capote, the fucking Capote, the thing you recognize Philip Seymour Hoffman from? Just wondering.
That was-
Did you like
yeah.
watch that recently? But
It was brought to my attention recently. I've never actually seen
to be fair, it just came out very recently, 16 years ago.
it.
that is part of the reason why I asked.
It's a good book. That's all I know. I didn't
Yeah,
watch
it's
the
true.
movie, but I watched the trailer a few days ago.
It's like his 12th most popular film, though. That's the strange thing.
What's the most popular?
He's done a bunch.
Wow, way to give a good answer. Okay.
Boogie Nights.
He was in The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
He was in Moneyball.
Almost Famous.
Wasn't he in the Mission Impossible series?
Yes. Mission Impossible. Punch Drunk Love.
Oh, good call.
Never heard of that.
Sense of a Woman.
Just all of it.
Did I say Talented Mr. Ripley?
He was in that? Because I
Yeah.
remember, but like I couldn't put my finger on what he did.
Along Came Polly. That was more recent too.
It's a good one. Never seen it, but I think
When a
it's
Man Loves a Woman.
The Master. I guess he's done a few Paul Thomas Anderson stuff. I've already mentioned like 3. 2.
Yeah, that's isn't there another woman who has a really recognizable voice besides Aquafina? Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
can't-
raspy.
Imagine it. Top of my head.
The girl who
Yeah.
plays Phoebe on Friends. What's her name?
Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I think that one is good is because like when she was in BoJack, and then she had a character in BoJack, I was like, oh, that's Lisa Kudrow, which makes me realize Rami Malek too, because same thing.
Oh yeah, he does too. Yeah. All right, this could go on for a really long time.
It could.
I think
I'll
we've
say
worn this out.
this was like a little embarrassing. There's a podcast that I listen to 3 times a week, like religiously. It's been probably like 2.
Is it
plus
this
years.
one?
No. Well, there's 2 podcasts that I listen to consistently, and this is one of them. But the other one, one of the guys on the podcast was like announcing a different thing, and I was with my friends, and I was like, I wonder why Big Cat isn't saying anything, and they were like, he's literally fucking talking right now, and I was like, what? And somehow, despite listening to a podcast with this dude as the host for like 2 years, I had no idea it was him. So, not recognizable voice.
Yeah, some people just kind of blend in. Some people don't matter. Some people don't stand out.
All right, I could take a hint.
Oh my god!
uh,
Daniel, I recognize your voice too.
Next topic.
Okay. I don't know why I keep getting asked back onto the show. I feel like
Because
everyone-
we have a good time.
I guess so.
A good
It is
time.
always fun. All right, next topic: sports ball.
Oh boy.
All right,
No.
you want to do it?
Oh,
What the fuck just happened?
All right, so for our listeners, Mary,
Jesus.
I can't even describe it. You heard the yell, you heard the owl.
She basically did like a sideways 180.
Yeah, she's flipped over now completely.
the cat,
Are you okay?
cat
Oh.
bit my ankle. It was
Oh.
hanging off of my bed, and he just bit it, and it just really startled me. I'm cool.
Classic cat.
Keep your ankles tight. Yeah.
Yeah, lesson learned. Whew. Anyway.
All right. Well, you want to get into it?
Yeah.
'Cause we can
Speaking
get
of
into it.
biting ankles, go ahead.
All right. So here's how it all started. On May 13th, Cole Beasley replied to a CNN breaking news tweet. Said, Dr. Fauci says that people vaccinated against COVID-19 do not need to wear masks outside. Quote, we've got to make that transition, he says, and then it's got a link to some article. Cole Beasley replies, I do that without being vaccinated. Is this illegal now? So I think the way to go about this is to really go tweet by tweet. So first off, this one, there's 2 buckets. Like, maybe let's try to see where he's coming from, and that's a bad fucking take. And this is a bad fucking take. So if you do that without being vaccinated, that's fine. I don't know why you need to flaunt it. And the second part, is this illegal now? Where the fuck did that come from? No one said anything about anything being illegal. The tweet literally just says, Fauci says that people vaccinated against COVID-19 do not need to wear masks outside. We've got to
Like
make
not like a
that
law
transition.
too, to be clear. It was like a
Yeah,
recommendation to vaccine
exactly.
people. Anthony Fauci doesn't write laws, right?
It's
He's an
only been
advisor.
CDC.
He's a COVID-19 advisor.
So with that in mind, I think B's really put himself on the wrong foot here now, because asking, is this illegal now, has nothing to do with anything and is just making him out to be a total fucking dick. You know? Like, if the tweet stopped at, I do this without being vaccinated, that would be like, all right, that's weird.
Or like if he asked a different
okay.
question, like, was this wrong? Or, something like maybe more inquisitive.
Yeah, no one said anything about anything being illegal. That's why I can't get behind him on that one. All right. So, it doesn't start off so hot, but let's keep going. Next
And that was, wait, hold on, what date was that?
May 13th.
Yeah, okay. So just to be clear, the timeline, there is a jump, yeah.
Well, I'm kind of going to stick to the May.
Okay. You're not doing like last or 2 weeks ago or something?
Well, you'll see. Okay. The next tweet. I had this down as an okay to good take with weird context. Until we all share the same opinion or belief, we are considered ignorant. I don't understand. You feel how you feel, and I respect that. It doesn't always make me wrong or a bad person because I don't agree with you. In the context, this is weird, but stand alone, he does kind of make a good point. Things are pretty polarized right now. It seems like if someone doesn't have the same opinion as you, you consider them ignorant. That is kind of how the political world is operating right now.
Can we take a quick break, Nathaniel? Mary is taking a shower soon?
No, I just took a shower.
Just took a shower?
Yeah, you didn't see the wet hair?
It's hard to tell because she's got glare and...
I wasn't...
it was all sweat from the construction site.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine's sweat. Mine's all sweat.
I want to keep hearing Nathaniel's story, but no, I'm wearing I wasn't sure if this was going to be a guest that I could wear my microfiber hair towel in front of, but now that I know it is.
Who was I going to bring on that you weren't going to be able to wear?
Someone I didn't know.
A news.
This happened multiple times.
All right, sorry. Go on. Continue on. Cole Beasley.
Everything is
okay, but no, I think. Okay, again, now that we know the context about he's talking about COVID and he kind of has a really bad take, it makes it seem bad. But for pure face value, he's got a point. Like everybody on both sides is just like, you're fucking stupid if you don't think XYZ, and then there's no conversation to be had.
Especially online with social media.
Yeah, well, good point, because that's another thing that I touch on later. Next two tweets. I'm going to put this in the good bucket, because here's why. He said, if you get vaccinated, are you good? So if I don't, I shouldn't pass it on to you regardless, right? And then he says, this is a serious question. I really don't know how these things work because I'm not a doctor. So my issue with that is kind of what you just mentioned. I don't know why he's asking on Twitter. And could probably just do any research or like text somebody, use resources. Like this is not what this is made for. I don't know why he's doing that. But at least
go ahead.
At least he's asking, I guess. Right?
Yeah. I was gonna say he should know that though by now. Is the other issue. Like
I don't think we get to
this
say
was late May. But the Bills have had people come in to talk to them. Like the NFL has made a huge push. That's just in his workplace. He also lives in the world. Like he could have slightly better.
This was way before OTAs and stuff. I don't think they got together or anything.
No, but they still had they were sending them emails like every day. They got a COVID email every day.
Okay, who fucking reads this? Let's be real.
All right, whatever.
You're probably right that he should have known that by now. But
yeah, he had plenty of opportunities to know that. And I mean, we're not going to get into Josh Allen because that's a whole other issue. But or not issue, but that's a whole other thing. But these people probably should have known by now.
I googled Cole Beasley, and the first thing that comes up is Buffalo Bills Cole Beasley says he'd rather retire than get COVID-19 vaccine.
He didn't say that explicitly. That's why I don't really. Yeah, so it's
like
the takeaway. We'll get to that later.
The next tweet I'm going to put in the bad category. It just says thank you, and it's retweeting a tweet that says this tweet is unavailable. So I can't imagine that was good.
I think it was like, yeah, I'm trying to remember what that one was. I think I do know.
All right, so next one, someone tweets, you're building your brand, stop with the BS, blah, 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 you choose internet conflict, and he says, my brand is the least of my worries. I'm not here to kiss anyone's ass. I'm here to be me. Again, context weird because we're talking about COVID, but kind of got to respect the guy, right? If this was about anything else or something we found more virtuous, we would be like, fuck yeah, that's my guy.
But like, yeah. And then now, and not to be negative, but like now we're getting into the part where it's like, just stop. Like he doesn't need to respond to this publicly, right? He quote tweeted that or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he doesn't need to do that. He could, maybe if he wants to DM it, whatever, but like,
well,
he's like, I think I saw one person say like, I've never seen someone tweet through something as much as Cole Beasley has for the last month and a half. Like, he doesn't have to keep going like this. He could just stop.
All right. He says, all the CTE comments we get for speaking our mind is crazy to me. I think this is actually also a good point. The problem that he doesn't realize what he's doing is that it's not CTE. He's missing the point that typically football players and professional athletes are not particularly intelligent a lot of the time. They oftentimes didn't really go to university for education and get all that stuff. I have a lot of comments about how college athletics works and how I think it's unfair to the players and none of this is their fault. But, you know, it's like if you have bad takes and then you're saying like, how come everybody always says it's CTE? It's like, dude, maybe there's a different reason you have bad takes all the time. You're right. It's not fair that they blame it on CTE, but like if you were just like logical and coherent the whole time, no one would ever claim that. So I think.
And we don't know Cole Beasley personally, too. We only know what he says publicly.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I get a good glimpse of who he is as a person through all his hip hop discography.
Aren't you inherently how people perceive you? Perception is reality. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah. And then there's actuality, which is what is.
I just mean like before May 13th or whenever that first tweet was, like I had really no opinion, positive or negative, about Cole Beasley.
Well, he just put something out on June 18th. Are you going to get to that, Nathaniel?
I'm going one by one. There's no time to waste.
There's so much.
Okay, I can't wait for y'all tell me how dumb and stupid I am when I'm walking around in the real world. Oh, wait, that never happens. Weird flex, but okay.
What?
He's basically saying like
I don't go in the real world because
No, he's saying that no one would talk shit to him like face to face because they would be intimidated by his stature.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay. Then he does a quote tweet about like some guy says like, what if the Bills miss the Super Bowl window because like Josh Allen and Cole Beasley get like COVID because they didn't get vaccinated? And then he said, I could miss the Super Bowl without getting COVID just because my contact tracer said I was near a person who tested positive for longer than 10 minutes, even if I'm wearing a mask around them, and then that test could turn out to be a false positive later. And while he's not wrong by saying that, that is like saying that was random. That has nothing to do with what the guy said. Like that's a situation that's true, and you can make a note about like the league-wide protocol, but it doesn't actually have anything to do with if you should get vaccinated or not.
And the league-wide protocol has, I mean, and again, you'll get to that later, but like vaccinated players aren't going to get tested as often. I think it's like once every 2 weeks they're going to test vaccinated players, whereas unvaccinated players, they're testing every day.
Okay, here's the funniest one to me. Love this one. The last tweet this has all been May 13th. He said, good talk, everyone. My plane is landing, so I'll probably be back on Twitter in maybe another year or so.
Okay.
Not a good look in hindsight, Cole. He should probably delete that one.
So Mary, hold on. Mary, when do you think the next tweet was? Huh?
I'm confused by that. So he was saying, like, I'm getting off Twitter, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said the only reason he was replying because before this, the last post he made was a retweet on May 4th, and Another one, a quote tweet on April 27th. Like, he doesn't, the
He doesn't
one before that is like pitching his song. He didn't really use.
He's not a famous like Twitter NFL guy. Like he's not.
Not
one
a
of those
big
guys.
Twitter guy.
Yeah.
But he sent all those in one day. But yeah, excellent question from Daniel. So he was on a plane, and that's why he was tweeting back, because apparently on the plane he had nothing better to do. And so he said, I'll probably be back on Twitter in maybe another year or so. When do you think his next tweet was?
5 minutes later.
I have no way to disprove that, but it was the next day.
Okay.
It could have been, he could have landed at, 11:58 and then tweeted at 12:03. I don't know.
Doesn't give
You
you the
can
time.
schedule them, can't you? Can't you schedule tweets?
Yeah. All right. And to kick off May 14th, he says, I don't have a problem with anybody getting the vaccine. Good place to start. That is your choice. Very true. My problem is everyone ridiculing and bullying people on here into getting one or thinking the same way about it. It's becoming that way with any issue. This is not okay. Again, weird context because we don't agree with him, but
Yeah.
I kind of got a point, I guess, right? Again, what if he was talking about like trying to convince people that like the BLM movement is valid? I assume that's something we're like agreeing on, right?
Yeah.
If he
Well,
was
I don't
talking
know
about
about
that,
Gary. Can't speak for me.
Excuse me.
Kidding.
Yeah, me. I'm all about the blue lives. No, I'm not.
I don't
Cut
think
that
that's
part out.
usually.
Those listening.
Let's not get into that. COVID's enough. Okay.
That's right.
You're cornering and bullying people the way you do. That is not American. Whoa. Okay. So that's in the illegal bucket. I don't know why we're talking about being American. Not being mindful, as everyone is so quick to tell me. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, as so many people are saying, although that's nobody's business. It's just not true.
What?
So he's only worried about COVID. He's not an anti-vaxxer.
Why? Why this? Does he give any explanation?
Yeah, and actually that's a good point that I wish like I could defend him more on. If he again made like I think there are reasonable or at least understandable like cogent arguments to be made specifically for athletes who might not want a fast-tracked vaccine in their system over like a lot of concerns for stuff. Like here's the thing. Let's just say they find out later that the COVID vaccine decreases your VO2 max by 2%. For everyone on this call, we don't give a shit. That doesn't matter to us even a little bit. But for a professional athlete who has to sprint around all day for a living, I can see how you might say, like, I'm nervous about that.
Yeah.
I don't think that, means one thing or the other, but I'm just saying, like, that is an interesting point that gets absolutely lost in all this, and he doesn't make it. And so it's like, what are you arguing?
I don't think that's a point that he has.
No, that's what I'm saying, but okay, here's what I'm saying, right? Let's face the bigger picture here, right? A lot of the Bills players, kind of like behind closed doors, were like, I don't know if we should do this, right? I would go to say that those maybe more reasonable arguments came up and were convincing to some of these players who didn't want to get the vaccine. And yet now they have no ability to articulate that same argument, right? Which is concerning because it shows a lack of understanding at a deeper level for what is motivating them.
And we'll get to the deeper level of what's motivating Beasley later.
All right. Anyway, he starts talking about politicians and stuff, big picture. He makes some other bad arguments about like situations that could occur, but like could have occurred anyway. Then he starts dissing on the Players Association.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And that gets into whole like union stuff too, which I mean we don't want to get down that, but
yeah, that was weird. And then here's a interesting take. Everybody is so all in on science now, more than I have ever seen.
What?
What happened? What happened to God's will?
Wait, is that you saying what happened or what happened?
What happened? Yeah, but
Without the ed, it's present tense.
yeah, I mean, again,
Whatever. Yeah, it's whatever.
we
But
kind of
I
talked
just-
about this before. Like this isn't sharpest tool in the shed type deal for everybody.
read that line again, Nathaniel, for Mary. Read it all together again.
I need to hear it all together.
Everybody is so all in on science now, more than I have ever seen. What happened to God's will?
What happened to God's will? So all in on science. Okay.
So all in on science.
They're all
Like,
in.
Crazy.
When did this happen?
That was on June 18th.
People really went all in.
So this is
Getting to
Cole
the present.
Beasley 2 Electric Boogaloo
And
Twitter
yeah,
version.
regardless of your like religious beliefs, that's still a ridiculous tweet.
I didn't
One
say
way
it
or
was
the
pointless. If you want to get the vaccine, then do so. I'm not encouraging you to not get it. Just let me live my life regardless of if I get it or not. I don't want to die in a car wreck during the season without getting to actually live my normal life.
Why would he die in a car wreck?
I think he was just saying like,
It was a metaphor.
no.
It was a bad
Well-
metaphor, but it was a metaphor.
And so like, I just don't get why you can't live a normal life with the vaccine. I really don't understand the argument that he's
I don't-
trying to make sometimes. Like,
Maybe he read somewhere that you'll get in a car accident because you're foggy after the vaccine.
no, I just think he was saying like, there's a lot of ways to die. And
He was
Such as
kind of
COVID.
saying he doesn't. I
But
think.
he's-
Well, I think based on
in the
later
same way that
things-
you drive to work every day, like,
I think based on later things that he says, he's like
that's
he
the last
doesn't
one.
want vaccinated people to be treated differently than unvaccinated people. Is what I gathered from things that he said. Like that was the whole problem.
Oh,
with
you
the
talking about
players.
the hotel rule tweet?
Well, that and like yeah, and like that was the whole problem with the Players Association stuff. He was like, "Whoa, why are there all these strict rules and whatever else?"
I mean,
Maybe I was reading into it differently. That's what
okay, again, we got to kind of separate like issues from another, not like taking Cole's side on anything, but like the discrepancies, it is kind of weird, all the rules.
Yeah, they're basically encouraging them to get vaccinated. Although the rules for unvaccinated players aren't any different than they were last year, are they? If anything, there's fewer. Is the only thing I would say.
That's
I'm reading
true.
through it again.
I was like, did I lose connection? It's possible. Yeah, the rules for the most part are like for Mary, as she's taking a tour of her house. It's like wear your mask. They're going to test you every day. When we travel, you can't like leave the hotel. This is for unvaccinated players. Can't leave the hotel. I mean, that's like those are the big things. And there's other small things like unvaccinated players take a different plane, basically.
Oh.
And then for vaccinated players, it's basically you can do whatever you want. Like when you do travel, you can see your friends, whatever else. Whereas unvaccinated players, you stay in the hotel, like they give you food. You know, basically what they did last year, from what I understand. Daniel will give me a better update here, but
So they're just mad that they're not decreasing the restrictions for everybody?
well, they as in Beasley.
As
right?
in Beasley, yeah. And his supporters.
Well, one of the things that he said, and like I think Nathan alluded to the hotel tweet where Beasley was like, "Well, another player that's vaccinated could bring the virus back to the hotel, and then I could get it from them in a meeting or whatever." And it's like, and again, yeah, it's like one of the things I was saying is like, yeah, he's bringing up a situation that doesn't necessarily apply here. But also, like, the big difference that he's missing is if a vaccinated player brings it back and most of your team is vaccinated, you have a much lower chance for, like, an outbreak where your whole team is out that week. Things that we saw last year for NFL teams were, like, huge outbreaks.
Also, aren't the chances of like contracting and actually being able to transmit much lower if you're
Well,
vaccinated.
yeah, and that goes into like the outbreak thing. Like you would have a much
Right.
lower chance of having an outbreak
Right.
because most of the team would be vaccinated and the player bringing it back is also vaccinated.
Here's what I'm saying. Or here's like a question that's related. So, okay, why the fuck isn't Chris Paul playing right now?
Yeah. Oh, the NBA protocols haven't changed. They didn't change I think it was something about the NBA protocols.
That's just weird to me. Like,
What did he do?
nothing. He's not playing. It has something to do with COVID. They're not clear about it, so we have no idea. But he was vaccinated.
He's vaccinated. He tested positive, and he's been out. How long has it been?
It's been like a week at this
week?
point, I think.
A week? Yeah, if it's been like a week, he should be back.
Unless he actually has it. Or
But
you
even
can
if he
get
has it, he's probably not infectious by now, is what
But
they're
I
saying.
feel like if you are actively positive, even if you're not symptomatic and you're vaccinated, you probably should just stay home.
He's not probably actively positive anymore.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, we don't know. Yeah, we don't
We
know.
don't know.
But if it's been a week and you're vaccinated, if he gets tested today or whatever, he's probably not.
It
There's
could
also like levels of being positive, right? He could be positive, but it could be like such a low amount in his body
happen.
that
Do
it
the
wouldn't.
tests show that?
The PCR test does show that, but you'd have to like go to the company and ask, hey, what are my,
Right.
that's a whole other conversation about like the problems with the PCR test is they just tell you positive, they tell you a binary answer, but really it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Because it'll tell you like how much of the virus you have in you. If you have a very low amount, you're not going to give it to someone. You're not going to transmit it to someone. But
Cool.
we treat everyone the same.
All right. Are there more tweets, Nathaniel? I think there are because I saw more when I did my
Well, he put out a public service announcement.
I gave up and it's just him trying to. Someone in his camp was finally like, damn, just like
Get off your phone.
summarize some shit and put it to rest. Like,
Yeah, it all screams just stop.
so,
This is like when J.K. Rowling goes on her rants.
That's
here's my one like football angle concern. I think there's a chance that like Cole Beasley like gets upset at like Bill's front office for like following the league protocol and not like trying to stand up to them, even though why would they do that? Because they don't care. So, and then he might like say some shit about the owner, and then that could get testy.
And I think Brandon Beane and McDermott know that like the best way to be competitive this year is to get as many people vaccinated. Just because like you don't want to risk that positive test in the playoffs or whatever, right?
Right.
Yeah. But like Beasley's definitely getting COVID this year, right?
No, I mean he didn't last year.
I mean,
He's probably already had it.
He's
No,
got
he probably hasn't. I guess they would have figured it out if he had it.
Well, they don't test them. They only test them during the season. They haven't been testing them.
Well, then he's probably had it. I don't know.
I just think it's like
I mean, he didn't have it during the season, or else they would have caught it for sure.
Right.
he had to get it. At this point, it would be too ironic if he didn't get it.
Maybe he secretly did take the vaccine.
Wait, it would be ironic if he did get it.
Yes. Yeah. Did I say it backwards? Yeah.
Well, actually, it depends on who you're talking to, because
Yeah.
irony is a subversion of expectations. I'm just okay. Look, he didn't get it last year.
I think it would be
Yeah?
ironic if he did not get it.
I think yeah.
Because we are. No, it would. If we're.
Go ahead.
If we are him,
Okay.
then.
Where's this going?
It would be ironic if he didn't get it.
Okay.
Which one is irony? Irony is the one where it is different than you expected, or it's what you expected, but the person didn't know.
But it
It's
also
gonna
has to be causal, or else it's
What?
coincidence.
Maybe he's playing a trick on us. He's writing a book, and we're all expecting him to get COVID, but he doesn't. I'm not
Again,
getting
I don't know if he can write a book.
Don't know where the book came from.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
know why.
talking about this being illegal. No one was talking about that.
No way he's writing a book now.
Well, he already has one.
He probably will write
Oh,
another
it's-
after this.
His autobiography in his
There's another
fucking
one
Twitter
coming,
bio.
trust. Part 2.
Yeah.
It's gonna be about his struggle.
Doesn't he have a song called Science? Isn't that a thing? Isn't that?
Well, everyone's all in on it now, so he's just trying to get some
Yeah,
of that market
everyone's
share.
all in on it. Everyone's all in on
More
it.
so than he's ever seen. In fact.
Why is everyone all in on science?
Just science in general. I love that. Science.
No qualifiers.
He's using his phone to tweet this too.
Forgot about.
Everybody is so all in on science now.
More than I've ever seen. What happened to God's will? That's the best tweet.
And the tweet he's responding or quoting about that doesn't even really connect very well.
What's the tweet?
The quoted tweet is because he can kill people who are actually medically unable to vaccinate or contribute to the spread of variants that could prove resistant / be more dangerous than current strains? ? Holy shit, how many times does basic information need to be explained? Fuck's sake.
Well, there's a lot of
His
science in
response-
there.
I can't.
Well, no, but that's a reply to another thing. So you gotta like.
A lot of science in there.
So all
So you
in
got to
on
dig into the quote tweets.
quotates.
A lot of science going on.
I guess so.
He's not all in on science, but everyone else seems to be. Than he's ever seen.
Have you listened to Cole Beasley's music?
I have not listened to Cole Beasley's music.
Have you listened
Should
to
I?
Le'Veon Bell's music?
I have not listened to an athlete's music.
Wait, you never heard
Wow.
Dame rap?
I've never heard an athlete's music.
I don't think so.
I mean, all right.
Well, you can't play it on here, but
No, but you should look up. I forget which radio show Dame was on, but like he's actually like Cole Beasley. Like he's not good, but he like tries and like kind of has some flow sometimes, and it's like at least he's fucking trying, right? Le'Veon Bell's music awful. Like it's just bad. I don't even know what he's doing. He's like kind of just like mumbling, but like it's like not even cool. Too bad.
Anyway.
all
All
right.
right. Well, you did it.
Is that it?
You want to talk about that? Yeah. You know, once we got through the May 14th tweets, I was like, shit. Or March. I was like, I don't want to read the next one's one point because it's when it starts getting the conspiracy theory almost kind of stuff. With like the NFL is just like trying to make money and they don't care about us. It's like that's true, but this is not a reason to like point to for that.
Yeah.
I personally think his public service announcement was well said.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't write that. Let's not get this confused, right? It was basically like, you know, like you accidentally like gave your 10-year-old your phone and they like texted your friend some weird shit and then you have to like cover it up for him. Is pretty much what happened.
Well,
I'd rather
yeah.
take my chances with COVID and build up my immunity that way. Eat better, drink water, exercise and do what I think is necessary to be a healthy individual. That is my choice.
It sounds like it's not. This is not what he's saying, but it kind of sounds like he's trying to beat COVID by drinking water.
If I'm forced into retirement, so be it. Wow.
Played a lot of time.
Wait, you didn't say the part where he said, "I'm not going to take meds for a leg that isn't broken." Again, this is the whole point of what the vaccine does. Which again,
what if you could take meds would ensure your leg wouldn't break? Would he do that?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think someone else said that. They were like, every athlete in the world would take medicine or like a vaccine if people told them it would prevent all injuries or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they would all take it. No questions.
Why did the vaccine become such a political topic?
That's a whole other.
Why did COVID itself? I think I know, sort of, but...
Go ahead.
No, I still want to... What does the peanut gallery think? The jury.
Politicians realize that the political system can thrive off division and creating a sense of community while also creating a scapegoat to hate, and that leads to votes, and votes lead to you getting in office, and it is a destructive cycle that is merely encouraged and propagated by the political system we have in place. Honestly, I'm surprised it took us so long to get here, you know? Like, shit. Why didn't this happen? Oh, I guess the internet sped it up.
You forget about the Civil War. Pretty divided then, too.
It's not that things are divided. It's the, like...
I wasn't sure where she was going with that.
It's that, like, they're almost encouraged to do so. It's like, yeah, like, have these fucking, like, crazy takes, like... Although, I guess, I don't know, fucking moderate or a Democrat got put into office, so...
Mod dem. I don't know. It's stressful, but it is what it is.
All right. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, can we actually fucking have like a good segment in this that isn't just like, ugh. This
I didn't know
sucks.
that would take that long.
What?
I figured since he was a Bills player, you may have to mention it, but
You would have defended him? Can I bring in
no,
a
not
special
that.
guest? Can I get a special guest's take?
all right, we have a special guest.
Drew? What's your take on Cole Beasley?
Cole Beasley? Oh, the vaccine denier. The odds that he made the NFL are like smaller than the chances of getting COVID, so he beat those odds. So he's definitely
Yeah, that's
COVID.
tough. Having just taken the LSAT, that's like really bad, like logical reasoning, Cole.
Oh, it's horrible.
He
Like,
could never go to law school. Never. He would be lost.
I'll be right back. I gotta stop a murder.
What?
You know, some domestic violence in the home.
Like, I mean, his logic was like so flawed. I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest. Like, I literally stared at a Reddit post for like 30 minutes trying to like even see the incorrect logic. It just was like so incoherent that I struggled to understand it.
He did make a lot of those. He made some okay points along the way. Also, just the context was weird, but yeah.
We went through tweet by tweet, so you don't have to rehash it. But. So you're pro?
Am I pro Cole Beasley? I mean, I think he's kind of bad at football, and I think he's also a little dumb.
He's fine at football.
Don't think that I'm pro Cole Beasley.
Is he bad at football?
I saw one person, like a Bills beat writer or whatever, like not even like a famous one, like a low tier Bills beat writer, whatever. It was like Cole Beasley, one of the top slot receivers in the NFL, and I was like, I could probably name like 5 to 10 better than Cole Beasley.
What?
I mean, he's good. I like him, but
I
like,
promise you that if Cole Beasley didn't play for the Dallas Cowboys for most of his career, no one would know who he was.
Yeah, the Bills were good this past year.
Bills were good, but the Bills are
Yeah,
not a huge national brand.
Don't talk about Cole Beasley.
That's true.
Or what's his name? Is it John Brown? Is he the other one? Who's the second receiver? I don't remember.
Oh my god. So, see, here's the problem. Like, you could make this argument if you didn't fucking forget that Diggs led the league in receiving yards last year. Like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm saying Diggs is good.
He's
Beasley
saying
sucks.
everybody talks about Diggs, not Beasley.
I'm saying that is why Beasley is trash. I'm not trying to argue that Beasley is good.
Oh, it sounded like you forgot that Diggs existed and that it was John Brown.
No, I was saying
Yeah.
He said he pales in comparison to Diggs.
Mary said the
I mean, I like John Brown.
I don't think that's fair.
Because Diggs and Brown, not because of Cole Beasley. You could put any B- tier, C+ tier wide receiver in the NFL on the Bills, and he could play as well as Cole Beasley.
I don't think that's true.
Whoa. That's aggressive.
Emmanuel
Look,
Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders would be an upgrade. That would be a huge upgrade, even though his body doesn't
Well,
work.
he's there.
Okay, great. We have him. Like,
That's why I mentioned him. They signed Emmanuel Sanders.
You know that?
Although
You
I
know.
could see. I don't know, I think
wait, time out. Drew,
What?
we haven't made a bet in a while. You want to make a bet?
What do you want to bet on?
Let's bet who has more receptions next year, Cole Beasley or Emmanuel.
Cole Beasley or who? Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah.
I don't know. The health concerns. If we're going from a bet, assuming both were healthy, I would take that bet. But
yeah, I think
I can't assume that.
I don't think Sanders plays more than 10 games. Like he's gonna get hurt.
I agree with that.
Maybe how about like receptions per game? You could do that. You could do a rate-based
I
stat
would do a bet who has higher receptions per game.
per
That'd
start
be
or
really
whatever.
funny though if Cole Beasley goes for like 11 receptions and then gets cut. That would be
He's not gonna get
Okay,
cut.
wait. I'm willing, big stats guy, so I'll do the stats on this. How about this? We'll
Yards
do
per route run.
receptions per quarter, and if they're on the field in that quarter, it counts. So, like, if you get murdered on the field the first snap of a quarter, that quarter still counts to the number.
All right, that's fine with me.
All right,
Why
cool.
don't
What do you
you
want to bet?
Yeah, you have to pick a number now.
I don't know.
4.
For what?
I don't know.
All right, 4.
I'm team $10.
Wait, don't you have to actually? Oh, you pick players. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's just one or the other. Who has more?
4. 10. No, $20.
Hey, I don't want to bet $20 on Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders. I'd bet more money on something I actually cared about, but the amount of fucks I give about Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley is pretty low.
Okay, $5.
No, how about a beer? We'll go out.
It's a
1.
beer. That's fair.
Yeah.
What if Emmanuel Sanders doesn't make the opening roster?
Then Nathaniel.
Then I'm pretty sure however many catches Cole Beasley has is going to be.
Well, I mean, does the bet stay on?
No. If one of them doesn't make the opening day roster, then the other person gets to give the other person the last quarter of their form.
Ew.
All right.
Well, this is where I'm confused. Why would you be concerned about that? If Cole Beasley can put up these numbers because he just has a good core around him and isn't actually good, and another player as you mentioned by name, Emmanuel Sanders could come in better, why would you worry about him being cut? Yeah, no, shh.
Yeah, they could just find out that he's got a degenerative muscle condition, or I don't know, they could just.
I don't think
it'd be very convenient.
Anyone can get cut.
I don't think Sanders is a lock to make the roster. Maybe a controversial thing.
To Beasley too?
What? 1 year, $6 million. Yeah. Why wouldn't the odds be even?
If I was the Buffalo Bills GM and Cole Beasley got COVID, I would cut him.
All right, and that's a risk I'm willing to take.
I don't think Bean would cut him, but
I don't think they cut him either, but I would cut him. I'm like, you're an idiot, and we have to have a brain on my football team. That's how I'd operate. But
I'm trying to find Sanders. How much guaranteed is it?
It's 1 year, $6 million.
Yeah, but is it all guaranteed?
Cares.
Well, that matters. It looks like half of it's guaranteed, so about $3 million is guaranteed.
I think he makes the roster.
I think Gabriel Davis could have more catches than both of them.
I know. I could buy that.
Dude, Sanders has a $4.6 million cap hit.
All right, I'm gonna put out this scenario. So let's say that Emmanuel Sanders gets cut. Cole Beasley makes the roster, plays one game, no receptions. I think Emmanuel Sanders wins the bet because he had.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you get Ty. You can take Ty's. That's cool.
All right, guys. So I got it wrong. So it looks like Emmanuel Sanders, it's all guaranteed. They would lose $6 million in dead money.
Yeah, they're not going to cut him.
They would actually lose more money because technically they did an avoidable year kind of thing. So they spread some of his cap hit into next year. And so if they cut him, this is getting deep into NFL contracts, which no one wants to hear.
God,
especially
you love
Eric.
this shit, yeah.
But basically, if they cut him today, they would owe him all that dead money gets accelerated onto this year's cap instead of what they're doing right now, which is spreading some of it onto next year. So in summary, they have incentive to keep him if they want to keep it.
Unlikely he gets cut.
Yes. I mean, it's not that much money. They could deal with $6 million.
Nathaniel,
no, but I don't think they care about they care about the cap hit. They don't care about the actual money.
That's what I mean. They could deal with a $6 million dead cap.
That's a $9 million cap hit.
Mary, you have a question?
I didn't know you were such a Cole Beasley stan, Daniel.
Me?
I mean, no, I'm not going to defend the guy for his Twitter shit, but I mean, don't slander the man on the football field. He had a great year last year.
He's a bad football player too. I don't even care that he's an anti-vaxxer. I just think he's bad at football. I do care that he's an anti-vaxxer, but independent of that, I think he's bad at football.
Dude,
if you had asked me this 3 weeks ago before he made idiotic comments, I would have been like, yeah, he's bad at football.
It doesn't help that Drew is bigger than Cole Beasley.
Really?
Is that true?
Yeah.
He's 5'8", 175.
That's part of the reason I like him so much. Oh my god, if I grew 2 inches, I would be him.
He's like a few pounds bigger than me.
He's 2 pounds leaner than Drew, but Drew's taller. Drew's bigger, period. No, wait. Drew is 2 pounds leaner than Cole.
Wait, you weigh less than Cole Beasley?
Yeah, but he's 3 inches taller.
Dude, you're in good shape.
Cole Beasley is more muscular.
You have a good BMI.
Well, he qualified as obese for the
COVID
vaccine.
That's when I weighed 180. That's where the line is. You know, the line's between 173 and 180. Do math yourself.
He just barely qualified. He was 182 at the time.
So I was 180.
Oh, okay, 180.
I think 180 might actually be the line for someone that's 5'11". All right, that's my contribution.
All right, thank you, Joe.
I think here's my hot take. I think everyone knows that's awful.
BMI is stupid.
I think the normal weight overweight line is where you want to be.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being underweight by BMI standards? That's
crazy.
That's scary.
You're too tiny.
Oh my god.
Yeah. BMI is the most ridiculous way to measure health, in my opinion.
Take 2 numbers, divide them. Boom.
Everybody is different. What is it?
Right.
All bodies are beautiful. Thank you. That's my piece.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should be healthy.
Be healthy.
That's my contribution to that.
Be beautiful. To the end. Okay, this has been the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
Wow. I really snuck in there that I took the LSAT and then we didn't talk about it. That's okay. Next time.
Nope, thanks for listening, everyone. Next week. Tease for next week.
Is there something else you want to tell us, Nathaniel?
No. I'll have my square back next time I'm on, so we'll just save it for then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. What else did you want to
have
say
to-
something else
we'll
about
have
that?
to We'll have to unpack your career.
No. I mean, who's in? Yeah. I mean, why am I on here? Not for that. Not to talk about what's going on. You know.
What?
I gotta stop
Nothing.
it.
I'm just poking at Daniel.
Cut it off.